Okay, so in this video for today, what we're going to do is we're going to show how to add a comment section on a website. So being able to create a post, something similar to this, test 1. I'm going to give this a color. Then we can write something here. This is pulling in from TinyMCE, which is a very cool project. We introduced this in the previous video about how to make this note-taking website. We're just going to type something really quick to test, submit. That makes a note, which we can see here. On this website, it does it by dates in reverse order, so latest is always first. Now if we view this, we can actually add comments. So clicking to add comment makes this add comment appear. Click again makes it disappear. And then we can add a comment to this note or post. Let me submit. Adds the comment. And we can view again, and the comment will be recorded here. So what I wanted to do was just explain the backend logic for this and do a little bit of a code walkthrough. I had created a blog post about this about a month ago, but I wanted to also do a video just because there could be many of you who prefer having a video format. So when we're thinking through this, what happens in the backend is this is using a MongoDB backend. It doesn't have to be. You could use a standard SQL, MySQL, Postgres, or any other kind of database. This particular project I sort of first created just to get familiar with using MongoDB and PHP. But in essence, the logic would basically apply the same. So what we have is when we store things in a database, let's just say if we think about it as like file folders, or if we thought about it as like different tables, maybe that's the better way of thinking about it. If you have different tables, you might have like an Excel sheet, the Excel file. And in this file, you could have different tabs. Each tab can lay out the data in different ways. And it's kind of similar with a database and tables, which is the structured or relational database, like from SQL or MySQL. In MongoDB, what we have is we have the database and then collections. And then the other nice thing about MongoDB is that you don't have to create or prime the database itself. We don't have to structure a table before we start storing data to it. So what we're doing is we have one table, which is our users. Okay, so we can add users and create users. We have one table, which is the posts, and then the posts get grouped based on who the author is, and then what associated groups there are. So if this is written by an author, a certain person, and there's a group associated with it, then users who are members of those groups, or if they're the author of that post, then they can view the post. Now this is done with just two what's called collections in MongoDB. What we do to create the comments section is we essentially just add another collection. So what I'm going to do is just kind of walk through the code a little bit and sort of explain a little bit more about how this logic works. So this is the code. It's on all up on GitHub. So using the links in the description, like anyone can go view and download this. Essentially, what we originally had, this is the view post. So this is what happens when we look at this page, okay, the view post page. When we show the view post, we're saying like, okay, if you're a valid user, then you're able to log in and see the post. And then it says, goes through this what we do is we pass in the information from the previous home. So if I want to view this, I want to know which post to go fetch. It goes and collects the information that we provided. There's what's called a post in HTML, which is when you send information in a form and you want the website to then capture the information and know what you're looking for. So it captures the information about like the name, the post name, the post color. So this is like author. This is the name of the post. And then it goes and it finds the information, displays the information about the post. What we added for the comments section is we have this show comments associated with this post. So what we do is we go look up in a different collection. So we say, okay, we want the comment collection. We already have the information about the DB. This is actually included in the header of the PHP. And then we say this DB, go look into this collection comments. So this little arrow sign in PHP tells it to go look for the collection called comments. And then if it finds a record, once you go and you say, like, can you look for comments with this post name? So each post has to have a unique post name. There's probably a better way to code this, but for the time being, this is what we're doing. We'd say go comment collection. We want to go from comment collection. We want to find, which is a command that we can use when interacting with MongoDB. We can find all of the comments associated with this post name. And then for each comment record that it finds, we want to display that comment and we want to display the author of the comment. So that's what happens when we see here. Okay, so it goes, it collects the information, and then what we show to the user is with this echo statement. This is in PHP, it's when you want to show information or you want to display something on the screen, you use the echo command. And you can put in HTML embedded in that echo command so that we can format this. So we just say, okay, we're going to show a new paragraph. We're going to give it this div post link and post class. This is just styling. This is what makes it have this black bar around it, so that's kind of separated from the rest of the UI. And then we say, okay, like here's the comment, and then we're going to have a separate paragraph, and we're going to say author, and then the comment author. And that's based on what we find. Now, when we want to set up the post, or we want to add a comment, like we add comment, and we get this bar here, or this little, this is a text area in HTML. To get that text area in HTML, we have an onClick function. PHP is a really powerful language. It's really good for database interaction. It's not so good for on-screen or this type of like graphical interaction. Everything when you click through in PHP is very much, because PHP is a server-side language, all the commands happen in PHP at the server. So you need a request to be sent to the server for things to change. So that's when we're doing new links, we're doing passing in like information via forms, and we're interacting with the commands that way. If we want to have something interact without having to change the screen or change the refresh the page, then we essentially want to use JavaScript. So what we're doing is we're doing a button on click, and then this is calling in this add comment function. Okay, we'll talk about that, like how that works in just a minute. But essentially this comment section, what we do is we have a hidden section. So we have this style visibility set to hidden. So in the CSS or the styling for this below div, this div section, all of it's hidden from the user until they click it. Okay, and that's what the JavaScript is going to do. Now, in terms of the form, all we need to do is say, like, we're going to insert this comment, and then we're going to add all of this. And then once this is ready to go and we click submit, it'll then go over to a submit comment page. And this again is when we switch pages for the submit comment. So we can look at the submit comment. And this is a very simple catcher. It just catches the information about the comment. We then insert the comment, the author, the comment, and then also the name of the post, so that we're able to associate this comment with the post name later. And then what happens is we just do this insert one, which is again a PHP MongoDB command. And then we just insert the comment, which is all of this information that we collect from the post or the form submission from view post. And then that gets stored into a collection of comments. Okay, so very quickly you can just add that, and then there's no limit in terms of like the number of comments you want to have. So and actually I can show the structure. So in Mongo Express, this lets more visual, better representation of how this is actually working. So with Mongo Express, what we're doing is you're seeing that we have our posts. So all the posts that we have, all of this is saved in the collection for MongoDB. And then we go back one. There's the posts, there's the users. So these are our users, and that all gets tied into this section here. And then we can see our comments. So this is where we have the comments. And then because we have this relation of the post name with the comment, then that we know how many comments we need to bring up for each one of our post names. So for all of these posts, as long as they all have different names, then the comments section gets grouped adequately. Going forward, like if we were to try to make this code a little bit more robust, we could do a couple of things. One, we could like give a prompt to users to say, you can only a post of this name already exists, so you need to change the name. We could also do things where we have maybe two fields of verification. So instead of just collecting the information about who the author of the comment was, the post name, and the comment information, we could also maybe capture the author of the original post, not just the author of the comment. That way we'd have two reference points to get, and we could present it the same way. It's like you would still, instead of just doing find post name, we would do find and then comma, post author or something like that. So there's lots of ways to improve upon the code, but in its most simple form, I thought this was a pretty easy way to get started and show some of this information. And again, the nice thing about MongoDB is that you don't actually have to prime for collections or anything like that. You just can start inserting the information as you need. So I wanted to just do a really quick video, kind of explain that logic. And then right before I go, I'll just very quickly show the JavaScript. So again, this JavaScript is just used to do this. Show, hide, show, hide. What I found just Googling online is that with JavaScript, they do have like this style section. So you can first create a variable and then assign that variable to be equal to the element by ID. This is the add comment ID. So we see here this div ID add comment. The default style is hidden so that we hide the information, or we hide the section of the website from the users. It's not visible. And then there's a way by using this dot style is that we can change the visibility from hidden to visible. Okay, so what this does is this: if this particular div element is hidden, and this is 3 equals means like definitely hidden, then we want to change it. The 1 equal sign means set value rather than check if equal. This is set value to visible. And this only happens when we click the add comment button. So before this button's clicked, this JavaScript won't run. As soon as it clicks, it says, go run this add comment function. This add comment function then changes what's already here to make it visible. And then if we click again, and how we get this ability to hide it again is this else statement. So this else statement says, oh, if it's already visible, then we're going to change it to hidden. That's essentially all it does. But it's kind of an interesting way of being able to show things. Initially, I was trying to do things of like passing all this information via inner HTML. That proves a problem for PHP because for PHP, again, it's server-side. So it needs all of this information, like the things like these values here. These are this value of $, login user, $, post name. These are PHP variables. So PHP would need these things to already be present in the page. So you couldn't like insert them later by running a JavaScript command. They need to still be in the page. But what we can do to get the same effect is just change the visibility of them. So with PHP, it would know everything that's on the website. It just may not be visible to the end user. So by just adjusting that, we can sort of get around maybe not exactly a limitation, but something that you need to sort of take into account. But by pairing JavaScript with PHP, you're able to get the sort of the same result. So yeah, I hope that's fairly simple to understand. A deeper description or a text description about how all this works, some of the code, and then the actual all the source code for this entire project is all located on GitHub, and I will link the blog post in the reference information below the video. So hope it can help some people. Just wanted to share it, and thank you very much.